Hi, this is Nancy Yearout, and welcome to High Road to Humanity. And thanks for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about the healing power of music, the healing power of vibration. Okay, there are many songs that can heal us, and there are instruments that can heal us because we are energetic souls. So, this is going to be a really fun show today, and I hope you'll share it. Before I get into it, I want to bring up a subject that has really been near and dear to my heart, and that is the homeless population. I saw in the news yesterday that there were 1,000 people who slept on the streets in Phoenix, Arizona. And this goes on across the country. It's not just in Arizona, it's in California, it's everywhere. It's in Washington. You turn on the news and you see how many homeless people. You just drive down the street and you see that people don't have shelter. And I know there are places like um, Habitat for Humanity that build homes for people who are not able to, build a home for themselves. And that's what the organization is for. But I just feel like we send humanitarian aid to other countries. The United States gives so much money to other countries, and we need to give to our own. We need to give money to the homeless or to each state. I don't know how we do it, but to each state so they can build homes. And it needs to be, homes that they don't have to be big. They just need shelter. And, every time we get going on this kind of stuff, I heard about some homes that were building in California, and people gave money, but then a door was like, $500,000. It's crazy. So we got to get back to where we really care about people and we really want to help, and that's why we're building homes for people. I also saw on the news that there were 46% more teenagers who were homeless just here in this state because there's that many more homeless people. Rents have just skyrocketed. I have moved recently, and housing prices to buy a house is very expensive right now. Interest rates are very high, rents are very high, and it costs a lot just to move from point A to point B. I've just done it, so I know how expensive it is. A lot of people just don't have the money to move. They're like stuck. It's almost like we're stuck in this situation. People, either you have a lot or you have nothing. The in between, the middle class, is really being, squeezed, is what I see. So I'm just asking, if anybody, I think one of my goals, actually, I know one of my goals is going to be to build some shelter for people. As High Road to Humanity grows, that's something I'm going to do. I would like to get started on it. I don't like hearing that people are not in a warm bed and that they're sleeping on cold concrete. It's cold out there right now. So send me some emails. I'm open. Anything I can do, anything you can do. We have to do this because our government's not doing it. Nobody's doing it. The state's not doing it. The federal government, nobody's doing it. There are people sleeping on the street, you guys, and we're sending aid to other countries. It's all screwed up, and we really need to get together, gather together, and make sure everybody's got shelter. Just the basics: shelter, food, and water, clothing. The basics. And we don't have the basics right now. So I get off my soapbox, but I'll tell you what, it's something that I'm going to work on, and I hope that you guys will pay attention to. And like I said, I'm open to ideas. All right. We're going to talk about music today. One of my favorite subjects. I love to sing. I come from a musical family. I don't know about you guys. I sing a lot. I sing around the house. I sing in the car. I don't care. Music is energy, right? So I do a whole chapter on music in my book, Wake Up, the Universe is Speaking to You. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. Music is uplifting to the soul and soothing to the heart. The vibrations of musical instruments and song have an energetic effect on our souls. And the harp in particularly. Now, I had someone on the show recently who was playing the harp, and I'll tell you what, I write about it in this book because it's an instrument that has a vibration that is healing. And so here's what I want to tell you guys today. When music is played on the harp, the vibration of the harp strings go into the body and it can balance an ill person's frequencies. Now, Carol McLaughlin, she's an award-winning professor and a healer. She's in charge of one of the largest harp departments in the world. She's a renowned concert harpist, and she explains that when someone has an area of weakness in their body, it means that it's not vibrating at its full frequency. Okay, so she conducted a healing experiment at a hospital's ICU unit. This is really interesting. She played her harp for a number of patients. The result was a 27% reduction in pain without any change in their medication. Okay, so it's been documented that she played for a man in a coma, and after 7 minutes, he took off his breathing mask and said, "Thank you." Yeah. So another patient was ready to go into hospice. But after the patient heard Carol play her music, the doctor canceled the hospice plans because the patient's vital signs had improved dramatically. So I think we should all have a harp or listen to the harp because it really makes a difference. Now, there is an international harp therapy program that trains and certifies its practitioners to heal with the harp, and that is established today, just so you guys know. Okay, so I just find this stuff fascinating. And I quote the Bible, and I'm going to just tell you this is Psalm 33, 1 through 5. I'm just going to read this to you. Sing joyfully to the Lord, you righteous. It is fitting for the upright to praise him. Praise the Lord with the harp. Make music to him and on the 10-string lyres. Sing him a new song. Play skillfully and shout for joy. For the word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does. The Lord loves righteousness and justice. The earth is full of his unfailing love. But I put that in this book because I just think it's cool. They talk about the harp in the Bible, and I know it's healing. And so there's a connection. So the next thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of cool, I love these. And if you look behind me, you see some Tibetan singing bowls up there. I have some. And I'm not an expert, but this is what they look like. And they come with their little, clicker here. And listen. And it sounds different if I use this. Okay. I love Tibetan singing bowls. They've been around since, 560 to 480 BC. Now, it's a Buddhist tradition. They're also known as Himalayan bowls, okay? They're used in yoga, sound healing, and religious ceremonies and musical therapy. They bring about the energy of tranquility and peacefulness to the soul. So traditionally, singing bowls signal the beginning or the end of a silent meditation. So I'm sure you've been in meditation and you've heard them, some of you have, you heard them do the, okay, you're done, or okay, we're starting kind of thing. And that's what they use. So if the body is diseased or out of harmony, it's balanced by the vibration emanating from the bowl. Even if you cannot hear the sounds, the vibrations of the bowl and the frequency will resonate into the body and balance your energy fields. So that's pretty amazing stuff. So I wanted to bring up the singing bowl, or the Tibetan singing bowls, because I think they're really cool. Now, I also write about Mitchell Gaynor. He's an MD. He's a former director of medical oncology and integrated medicine at the Cornell Cancer Prevention Center in New York, or he was. He was one of the pioneers in this type of therapy. He healed cancer patients, okay, with sound. He used sound, chanting, and music in conjunction with metal and crystal bowls, and in addition to conventionally treat cancer patients. And he is the best-selling author of The Healing Power of Sound. So, and some other books too. But he says, if we accept that sound is vibration, and we know that vibration touches every part of our physical being, then we understand that sound is heard not only through the ears, but through every cell in our bodies. And it goes back again to the cells in our bodies. Okay, so I looked this up, and we have, I know this is like a crazy amount. We've got 100 trillion cells. Okay. And they're each cell is slightly different. Okay. But they all need balanced. And so what he's saying is one reason sound heals on a physical level is because it so deeply touches and transforms us on the emotional and spiritual planes. So sounds can readdress imbalances on every level, okay, of our body. It can play a positive role in the treatment of virtually any medical disorder. Okay. And that's absolutely the truth. Now, I talked last week about Maseru Emoto and his experiments, okay, with crystals, music, and images. And this is his book, Music and Images to Restore Your Well-Being. Okay. So this guy, here's what he says. He says, for centuries, people have turned to classical music for its calming and relaxing effects, which is true. Internationally acclaimed water researcher, Dr. Maseru Emoto, has discovered why certain music has healing effects. Okay. So music with the appropriate rhythm, tempo, and tone and melody can correct disoriented frequencies within ourselves, assisting our health and healing. Okay. So I told you I had gotten this book, and it's really interesting. And in the book, he did all the experiments with crystals. So, like, for example, if he says, if you play the Blue Danube, which is Johann Strauss, he says it revitalizes fatigue and stress, and will help the central nervous system. And this is what the crystal looks like. So he played the music, and then he had the crystals, and he had them frozen, and then he gets out the microscope, and that's what they look like when he plays this. So how interesting it is that they knew this a long time ago, because this composer was from 1878, I believe here. Yeah. So when you listen to the Blue Danube, your central nervous system, he says, which may have withered due to habitual constraint, will be revitalized. Your heart will open and your body will feel relaxed. So if you have acquired a habit of living in the fast track with a high activity level, your cells are calling out. You don't need to suffer any longer. Live freely. Just play the music. And in this book, he has all different songs of what you can listen to in order to, like, from the opera. There's a prelude to Act One from the opera Lohengrin. And he says that, and I'll show you what it looks like. And again, he shows the crystal in the book. The cool thing about this book is at the end, he's got the CDs. So I'm going to listen to these, and I suggest you guys do too. I mean, this is really cool. He's got a lot of information in here, and he was a pioneer. He passed in 2014, but he was right on, because he proved scientifically, because remember, we're water and we're energy, and that's what he used. He used the energy of music, and he used the water, and he scientifically showed that the crystals come out beautiful when you play certain songs. And so it's healing, okay, and it's uplifting. Okay, so we've talked about the harp, we've talked about the Tibetan singing bowls. There are the crystal bowls, okay, and I actually have one. And the crystal bowls are really interesting. So I'll give you a little information. Now, in my book, I write, the use of crystal bowls in healing intrigues me as much or more than the use of metal Tibetan bowls, which we were using here a little bit earlier. So I believe that the crystal bowls hold much healing power because of the combination of sound healing, crystal healing, and color healing within them. Because when you go to buy a crystal bowl, there are so many different kinds. You can acquire different sizes, different stones. They have amethyst, they have rose quartz, aquamarine, garnet, citrine, emerald. There are so many options. I saw copper, and each has its own frequency, and it's each bowl has its unique healing energy. So another person, Olivia, that I write about in my book, Olivia Melody is a renowned sound healer, and she uses the crystal bowls for healing. And here's what she says. When the sound moves through the atmosphere and touches us, it causes ourselves to move in different directions at a different speed and rhythm with the sound wave. So this puts in harmony with the sound wave, the world, and ourselves. The sound penetrates into our very cells and rebalances them um, through the resonance. So I just think that's really cool. All right, now there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is Om. Okay, so everybody say Om. All right, Om. And when you do it, it resonates through your whole body. You can feel it. You can feel the vibration. All right. So many have described Om as the vibration of the universe. So if you've never experienced the vibration of Om, I want you to try it. I hope you guys have tried it. And to pronounce Om properly, the sound vibration is pronounced like home. So it's home with a Midwestern accent. So when you pronounce Om, it resonates through the body and your soul, and you really can feel the vibration, you guys. I want you guys to do this. It's kind of freaky as you're not expecting this intense vibration, but it's there. And when you say this mantra, you can actually feel the balancing of your energy fields. Okay. So I just think it's really important that you guys, we balance our energy fields. And music is a way we could do it. I mean, you can turn on a song and it just changes your mood. It's uplifting. And we're not even realizing that it's balancing us, but it's making us more joyful. And if it's making you more joyful, then maybe it's healing you. And it is, because we are energetic souls. So sing, spend some time. I mean, don't be afraid to sing in the car, sing in the shower. I sing around the house. I know my mom always sang to us as kids. I always sang to my kids too. I think it's really important that you sing to kids. Kids love to sing. And if you get them singing, I mean, it just changes the mood in the house. It changes the vibration for everybody. I just think it's awesome. So that's pretty much what I have to say today about vibration and singing. I mean, I could talk a lot more about it, but I just really feel that in the future, and this is our future. Well, let's just say right now, we can heal ourselves if we choose to. I mean, there's different songs we can listen to. We can listen to the harp. Okay. It's really about balance and balancing ourselves. Even just saying balances you. And it just makes you feel like I can't do it without smiling. So I'm just saying there's so many little things that we can do to balance ourselves. Listen to music, and it'll make you more peaceful. It'll make you more healthy, because it does balance our souls and it balances our vibration. Okay. So if you have any questions or if you'd like to comment, please let me know your feelings. That's just a short little video that I'm doing today on sound, but I just want you to know how important it is. And, you can do these things to help yourself. All right. So that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a terrific day. Thanks for joining me on the high road, and God bless. Have a great week.